The Roots, Illadelph Halflife. Never heard it. I remember hearing Distortion and Static and Proceed and liking those songs, but not enough to go out to the record store and spend money on them. I remember hearing Concerto of the Desperado and thinking it was okay, but then I saw the video for Do You Want More and I instantly became a fan. Unfortunately, I still wasn't a big enough fan to go out and buy the album. I, like a lot of other people, didn't buy a Roots album until 1999's Things Fall Apart. And when I heard that album, I realized that I needed to hear more of these guys, so I went back. Unfortunately, I didn't go all the way back to Organics because even though it had been re-released by then, it still was kind of hard to find. So I got Do You Want More, an album that I liked, but I think it might have been a little too heavy on the jazz rap, so that's probably why I didn't listen to anything else. I've heard every album after Things Fall Apart. I've seen them live multiple times. I've even went to see Questlove DJ for 3 hours, but I've never heard Illadelph Halflife. On the first two musical tracks, Respond, React, and Section, Malik B and Black Thought are trading verses over much harder loop-driven beats than the jazzy chorus that were on Do You Want More. But it's on Panic where things get really dark and gritty. And to be honest, that's my favorite version of The Roots. Even before learning about Black Thought's upbringing, you can tell that had he made one or two different decisions in his life, he easily could have been one of the guys that he's talking about in these songs, which makes these songs more powerful. He never comes off preachy and he always sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Push Up Your Lighter features Bahamadia on the third verse, and while I didn't buy Illadelph Halflife in '96, I definitely bought her debut album Collage, and I also bought her 2000 EP BB Queen. I'm a big Bahamadia fan and I sincerely wish we had more music from her. The song What They Do is pure magic. The guitar tone that starts out the song, which I believe is Spanky Alford, paired with Raphael Saadiq's vocals. Raphael Saadiq had only been Raphael Saadiq for about 3 years by that time. Before that, he was Raphael Wiggins. This song and video were amazing, but Biggie was understandably not a big fan. And who is that guy, by the way? The most impressive thing about Quest vs. Scratch is when Scratch does the Where You At vocal from Hot Sex on a Platter, and he sounds almost exactly like Q-Tip. It's spooky. Concerto of the Desperado was another single from the album. Black Thought's verses are always on point, but the beat is a little lackluster for me. And the video had some cool ideas, but it really didn't do a whole lot for me back then, and it doesn't do much for me now. Clones was another single from this album, but I honestly don't remember seeing this video. I'd also never heard of Mars Co-op before, but his lead verse is on point. And it's about this time in the album that I realized that we haven't heard Malik B in a while, and I sincerely missed him. It's kind of weird that he's on 90% of this album, but he's only on one single, and the one single he's on has 3 other MCs on it. On University War, Common dropped some of my favorite verses by him, and the fourth verse where he's talking about gentrification is especially ill. Black Thought must have brought something out in him because this is pure genius. On No Alibi, Malik B continues to astound, and Black Thought, I mean, if your ears hurt, you shouldn't listen. That means you're artificial and my style of poison your brain tissue. Also, the piano on this song kind of sounds like a replayed sample, but I can't put my finger on it. No Pretender is a rare Malik B solo track that is based on his line, What Goes On Part 7 from Do You Want More. The Hypnotic features D'Angelo fresh off his debut album Brown Sugar and was co-produced by Slim Kid Trey from Farside, fresh off of Lab Cab in California. I Saw the Universal Side surprised me for 2 reasons. One, I thought I had heard every Q-Tip verse ever, and it really bums me out that this is the first time I'm hearing this. And 2 is the time signature of this song. The song is in 4/4 time, and if you don't know what that means, look it up. I'm not going to explain music theory. But Tip and Tariq trade off every 4 bars, but every 4th bar is in 3/4 time, which makes it sound like when one MC is coming in after the other that he's stepping on his line, which gives it this off-kilter sound, which is just pure brilliance. And I need to get a physical copy of this album because I know Questlove has to have something written in the liner notes about this. I miss liner notes. One Shine features Joshua Redmond on sax and Cassandra Wilson on vocals, and it features the return of Scott Storch. And this song really fits the pacing of the album, where the first half is really gritty and the second half really just smooths out. Ursula Rucker wraps up this album like she does on Do You Want More and Things Fall Apart with a poem about a woman that starts selling weed but graduates to selling crack so that she can send her daughters to boarding school, and then she gets caught and sent to prison. There's a line in the poem where she references Junior Mafia's Get Money, and between that and Common's Throw Your Hands in the Air line from Universe at War and the What They Do video, I don't think Biggie was being paranoid when he thought the Roots were taking shots at him. Just saying. I completely understand why this album is a classic. It bridges the gap between the jazz rap of Do You Want More and the more expansive sounds of Things Fall Apart. And to be honest, I think I might like this album more than Things Fall Apart. If it had been pared down to 45 minutes to an hour, I think it would have been flawless. Absolutely. I prefer the darker, grittier stuff like It Just Don't Stop and Episodes, and the smoother stuff like What They Do and One Shine. The songs where they're just, I'm the best MC songs, those songs kind of run thin for me, but for the most part, I absolutely love this album, and I wish I had heard it sooner. And since I've been doing this series, I've only said that twice, and this is the second time, so absolutely. So have you heard Illadelph Halflife? Are you still bumping it to this day? I'm going to keep reviewing albums until I run out. Until then, I am Free Tillman, the only guy on the internet that doesn't know everything.